Why you need 6.6 Xrp today. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, money makers. You might be asking yourself why that weird number of Xrp. I'll explain everything. All I ask from you is to give me a beautiful smile, to send out good vibes. Please hit that like button and let's get into it. So right now, Xrp is sitting at $3.34, up 6.4% today. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, Xrp has gone up a lot, or maybe it's gone down a lot. I know these types of videos can be sometimes a video that stays. Good meaning that people watch it, later. So this video is just for fun, and you should always do your own research before you decide to put money. And I don't know exactly where or how the price of Xrp is going to go from here, right? We can look at what happened before, and we could try to guess what's going to happen next, but I'm not perfect. And even Nostradamus wasn't right every single time, right? There's only a few things that he kind of was right about if you read about his story. So why do I think right now Xrp, of course, is doing really well? And we just heard today that President Trump is maybe going to create crypto savings using US-based cryptos like Solana, USD, and Xrp. And this could be huge. We're only 4 days away from basically the most crypto-friendly government ever, with a pro-crypto president, pro-crypto House, pro-crypto Senate, pro-crypto SEC, hopefully. And Xrp has been held back over the past 7 years for the most part in the last 4 years, really, right? Since 2021, it didn't join in the 2020 big rally. For the most part, it did go up, but it went down and it didn't really join. It didn't have the same power that other big cryptocurrencies in the crypto market had. And a lot of people are expecting that Xrp is going to keep this big run going, especially after last night where the SEC filed its paperwork up for its appeal. And basically it was nothing like they're not going to win this. And the new government anyway is probably going to throw it out. So the Xrp community is celebrating. The Xrp community is happy. The Xrp community is, doing great. And the price of Xrp is going up as well. And you can see over the past, since basically November 6th, when Trump won the election, Xrp is up 514%, right? So you might say, well, hey, Xrp is up already a big amount. Why do I need Xrp now? And that's a good question of mine, and I'm giving this specific number, right? And I'll explain why in just a second. That I think this is my opinion, only my opinion, that people who invest in the crypto market should have at the minimum right this amount now. I'll explain how I got to this number. And let me know in the comments section, do you think it makes sense, the number? Am I too low on the number? Am I too high on the number? Some people might say no Xrp in your portfolio. It's already gone up too much, right? And that's a good point as well. We don't know when the top is going to happen, right? Maybe this is the top and we fall back down. Maybe this is only the beginning, right? We don't know. And that's why I gave this number. Okay. So how did I get to the number? I said to myself, most people, and maybe I'm guessing here, I think the average crypto investor now has around $10,000. Maybe that's too high. Maybe it's too low. I just put that in my brain. I said, okay, I think about $10,000 on average. Of course, there's people with a lot more and there's people with a lot less, but like average, I think 10,000. Most people, that's where they are at. And then I said to myself, okay, hey, I have learned, I'm talking to myself. I have learned through my 38 years of living and of basically trading and investing since I was about 25, so 13, 14 years on the market. So I learned that spreading your money around is very, very important, right? Anytime that I went like all in on one specific thing, it didn't work great for me. So I like to spread my money around. So I said to myself, okay, Xrp, it's a top 3 crypto, 20% is a number that looks, it makes sense to me. 20% of your money in something that has high potential now, and that has some risk, but you're not putting all your money in one thing. And so I did the math. I took $2,000, which is 20% of 10,000, and I put it in the calculator and I divided it by 3.3, which was before it went up a little bit since I calculated. And we got 6.06 or 606, right? Maybe I should put that in the title. It's kind of cool, right? And so then you say to, okay, is that enough? Is it too much? Is it too little, right? And that's a good point as well. If you go to the calculator, right, and you think about this, well, first, if you look at the crypto market and you think about, okay, where we are in the cycle where we're again. If the cycle acts like previous cycles, it doesn't mean that this cycle is going to act exactly the same, but in previous cycles, The top of the market has been 500 days after halving, so we're still about 200 days away from that. So there's still a lot of room, and the year after is usually where the big movements are made. If XRP will keep this momentum and keep the wave going, then possibly we could get to a lot of higher prices. And I made a video today kind of talking about some prices that we could possibly see. So let's see, for example, if we buy that XRP, we put the $2,000 on, and let's say XRP gets to $10, right? So we'd basically have 198% profit of worth, and the total value of it would be $5,975. We'd make almost $4,000 now. You might say to yourself, well, $4,000, that is not going to make me a millionaire. And you might be right about that. But for many people, $4,000 is a month's salary or maybe even 10 months salary, depending where you're living around the world, right? If XRP gets, to 25, then you'd be up 646 at, that's maybe half of what they make in a year, or some countries, even more. I know most of my viewers are from us UK, Australia, Canada, but people around the world are not making $55,000 a month in many countries. That's a lot, right? But in these rich countries, English-speaking countries, the people make around that amount for the most part. Of course, some people make less and people make more. And so it's important that, yes, from $2,000 in XRP, if we get to 25 again, you're not going to become a millionaire if it gets to 100, right? And we talked about maybe the possibility of this happening in a video earlier today, which I'll link to in this video at the end of this video. It might not be important by the time you're watching, but maybe we're a lot higher, a lot lower. We talked about if Bitcoin would get to $1 million, then possibly if XRP was the second biggest. Crypto, it could be 20% of the market cap, 25% of the market cap of Bitcoin. Just like now Ethereum, right, is a 25% give or take of the market cap of a Bitcoin. So if a Bitcoin wouldn't be at you 20 trillion, then possibly XRP could be around 5-ish trillion, which is what we calculated the price would give, or take about 100. We talked about the circulating supply that maybe would be a little bit different because of what Ripple does with the escrow, but you know that you could go watch that video, and I explain everything there now. Let's just throw out a number, right? And this is just to see, like, when we would hit 1 million, right? Okay. So if we do 1,000, it wouldn't happen. This is just for fun right now, right? And if we go to 2,000, then we'd already be over a 1 million in profit on XRP position. That would be a $2,000 investment. And now, could it happen? Probably not of that. That would bring us, right, if 5 trillion was what I calculated up before, right at 100. So 2,000 divided by 100, that would be 20. And then you times that by 5 trillion. So that would be already 100 trillion market cap for XRP. Yeah, probably not going to happen. So could you possibly become a millionaire from investing a $2,000 in XRP straight up? Probably not, probably. Now what you could do, and this is some possibilities, is you could on the other side use leverage. Now, our partner BTCC will give the chance to use leverage. And if you're using leverage, then you can take a smaller position and use leverage, right, times it by 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 50x. The BTCC has up to 500x, but that's, too much for me. And then that way you could possibly gain more on the big movements like we've seen recently in the past few days. But on the other side, if you're using, for example, 50x and you put them, $1,000 or $2,000, and then if the asset goes down 2%, you can lose all your money and get wiped out. So leverage can be very, very helpful. I have 100x positions with leverage, but I've also lost everything and got wiped out or got stopped and lost a big amount. So with big reward comes big risk. So please trade carefully again. If you decide to use my link, I'll get a little bit of money. Also, exchanges have been closed down before, have had problems, have closed positions, and so read the terms and conditions and know what you're getting into. BTCC has been around for 13 years. So it's not a new exchange, but we never know what can happen. So link is in the description down below. Check it out. The other way that we could possibly do this is long-term investing. So if we take the compound interest calculator and let's say we go back and let's say, we get to something a little bit more like 50, which, that would still bring us to 2.5 trillion market cap. But we're talking about, let's say 5 years in the future, maybe 10 years into the future. Okay. Now let's assess. We have only from XRP. We're not talking about the rest of our crypto portfolio. They were probably going up as well because we only put 20%, remember, So now you have around 30,000. So let's put 30,000 into the compound interest calculator, 30,000, and let's say you keep adding $500 from your work or whatever, and then you do this for 30 years and you put in, let's just be like, basic. We put in SP 500 index fund for 12% and we calculate, and in 30 years we get $2.34, 6 million I'm on that investment, right? So that initial $2,000 after 40